Hi everyone, in this video I want to talk to you about how to succeed on online dating and dating apps. Now believe it or not, there is a skill to make the platform work for you. I believe there's many ways to meet there's many ways to meet singles. However, you will find more singles online and on dating apps than any other place. So it kind of expands you to give you the most opportunities if you learn how to use it as a tool. And bearing in mind, like I say all the time, 90% of singles online are going to be wrong for you. So it means maybe 10 out of 100 are going to be right, but it's a numbers game. And if you go into that and, give yourself a set amount of time to try online dating and have a method which I teach people how to do, it doesn't get as depressing as it does. Now, I am a coach for women and a coach for men. And I talk to women about what their dating problems are, and I talk to men about what their dating problems are and challenges. And I find it really fascinating, and it gives me unique insight into what both sexes struggle with, what the other ones do that just repels them. And it really puts me in a really good place to offer valuable advice to both sexes. Sometimes I know that, guys will say, well, you're talking from a woman's perspective. Well, sorry, guys, I am a woman. And I can tell you, if you want to date a woman, I can tell you what you think, what we think, not what you, I can't tell you what you think because I'm not you, but I can tell you what women think and how when you do certain things, it doesn't work or why certain things will work. So I can really help you with that. I mean, there are a lot of dating guys out there that giving expert advice, and I love some of their advice, and some of it I'm going, yep, that doesn't work. So I come from what women really want, and I can help guys with that. So in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about how to succeed online. And I want to say the number one problem of why people don't succeed is they tend to treat online dating differently to if they met a girl in real life. I'm going to say that again. The reason that online dating doesn't work for a lot of guys is they tend to treat it differently to if they met a woman in a pub or out and about. It is no different, right? You're building a connection, and if you treated it the same way, you would get different responses. Now, I know that it can be quite difficult to get a match initially, that a lot of the stats say that guys are getting rejected like up to 69% of the time. So I think they succeed between 1% and 23% in the matches they get back. So when you do get a match, you want to make the most of the match that you've got and maximize those chances. So with these simple tips I'm going to give you, you'll be able to do that. Now, the first thing that I'd say is make sure that you read a girl's profile. Not just look at the pictures, because what she says gives you a powerful clue of what type of messages to send. Now, if you're a girl, and not only do I talk about this from coaching experience, but also, I do go and trial the dating apps and see what works, what doesn't, which one is better, which one isn't. And I have done some research around the world of what does and doesn't work, which is quite helpful for my clients when I do work with them. So I'm coming from that whole personal experience as well of what works and, being able to get on really good dates. And I'm going to share that experience with you. So where guys go wrong is they start, and look, guys, I understand why you do it. You've probably carefully crafted a message in the past, sent it to a girl, and got no response. And you go, well, I'm not even going to bother with that. I'm going to just see if she answers me, and then I'll come back with something. But you're missing some opportunities. So picture your messages that you send on your dating app like you're walking up to the girl at the bar. So if you walked up to the girl at the bar, you'd say, hi, how are you? And you'd have some banter or lighthearted conversation. The same should happen online. Just sending hi, hey, how you going? How was your weekend? Isn't very effective. So most girls are getting maybe 20 matches at once, and they've got 20 in their inbox. Hey, beautiful, how are you? It's overwhelming. To stand out, you want to send something that relates to what her profile said. And look, every girl out there says she wants a guy that's funny. So say something lighthearted and amusing. Don't get caught up in the, hey, how was your weekend? What are you doing? What do you do? Tell me what you want to know about me. I mean, all of that stuff ends up being slightly pointless unless you've built a connection with her. So the equivalent of hey, and look, what happens is guys will say, hey, how are you? How's your weekend? And they go, either here's my phone number, let's meet, or give me a call, let's catch up. It's the equivalent of sometimes going up to a girl in a pub and saying, hey, how are you? How's your weekend? Here's my phone number, call me, and walking away. What is the likelihood that she is going to call you? It's pretty small, okay? Whereas if you built a connection and she's enjoying your company, she's going to want to call you. She's going to want to hang out with you. The same applies online. So it takes a little bit of skill and a little bit of practice, which I can help you with that, to build a connection. So just to give you an example, I'm going to put a blog up on my website in the next couple of weeks that gives you some step-by-step tips. But if in my old profile or in one that I've used, I would have a perfect weekend for me. Could be anything from binge watching Netflix to trying skydiving. So, for a guy, he could send, oh my God, skydiving is not my thing. You wouldn't catch me jumping out of a plane for all the tea in China. However, have you watched the latest season of Peaky Blinders on Netflix? And what did you think? Or what would you recommend me? Something along those lines. All of a sudden, you've stood out from all the other people, and you might be connecting on something that you might have in common, you might not. But you're being funny, you're being amusing. And then that conversation from there can flow. And what that does is it builds up being comfortable enough with someone to want to go on a date. And look, I've had guys that have messaged me in the past, and I've met up with them within a day because the connection was so good, the chat was so good that I wanted to meet them. Not, sometimes it feels, I mean, and you guys would know this, it feels like a second job you don't have time for. If you've got five guys, how was your weekend? What are you doing this week? There was a recent study that said 90% of singles are dying of boredom online. So if you're aware of some of this, you can change how you're showing up online and you can get more dates. And I'm telling you, with the right, fun, lighthearted approach, it can work. And I want to say for the women out there, put something in your profile that makes it easy for a guy to be able to message you something easy, some hook that will get him wanting to message you. And look, the other thing that I'd say with apps like Bumble around is women have to make the first move on Bumble. And from what guys tell me, us women are really bad at those first messages too. Now, it's good to try an app like Bumble because then you have a little bit of compassion of how hard that is to send the first message. And, when you don't get a response and maybe you're sending out a few and no one's responding to you, that can be demoralizing and disheartening for people. So if you kind of realize what it takes, and the guys say that women are just saying, hi, how are you? Just like they are. So, take a bit of thought. And guys, make it easy again for the woman to have something in your profile that people can comment on. Something that's authentic about you. And I would keep whatever you've got on your profile positive and not have anything negative. And you will see a huge change in the reaction. Now, the other thing that seems to happen is people get really sensitive online. And if you say the wrong thing, people will just unmatch. That's not particularly helpful for anyone. And look, guys, don't send the whole block message that you send to everyone because you can see through those. And we get why, but if you could have a formula where it's a very similar message each time, but referring to something unique to that girl, and that does make all the difference. But if you want any further tips, advice, support, is something that I do a lot of support in this area. I can help you win at dating, whether it's online or face-to-face. I've got proven, tested strategies that work in this space. And you don't have to be missing out on going on dates or things working for you because I can tell you there is no lack of great singles out there. Just if you're going to go fishing with the right bait, okay? Now that's enough. I've talked to you for almost 10 minutes. I'd love you to send me any questions that you might have in this space so I can answer them in another video. But with that said, if you want another way to meet, bear in mind we've got plenty of events coming up, speed dating, singles parties, wine tours. Just gives you a way to get out there and practice your skills in real life. Anyway, it's been great talking to you. And that's me, Debbie, a dating relationship coach. And my business is called Dare to Date. Bye.